My Hero Academia has a bait and switch, one that's very subtle and difficult to notice when reading the series quickly and consecutively. I've been following My Hero Academia since the release day of its first volume, and for a long time I read the series strictly physically, meaning that I had to wait a month or so between releases of volumes to see what was going to happen next. Reading the series this way, while creating a somewhat disjointed experience, also allowed me to soak in everything that each volume portrayed for a longer amount of time than someone reading the weekly digital releases. This let me think more deeply about the sub-themes that disappeared quickly in the grand scheme of the series. Looking at the series in this way shows a perhaps unintentional bait and switch in theme, where the author portrays a rather simple sub-theme as the overarching theme before shifting into the real thematic meat of the series. So, what was the initial sub-theme of My Hero? I'm going to get stomped for this, I'm well aware, but it was anyone can be a hero, and please stick around, I will be explaining myself, hopefully well, so if you want to laugh at me for saying that, just do it at the end of the video. First of all, I want to get the difference between a main theme and a sub-theme out of the way at the very beginning. A main theme is the major idea encompassing the entire work, while a sub-theme is complementary to the overarching theme. Certainly the main theme has remained consistent in My Hero, but the sub-themes have shifted noticeably over the course of time, placing an entirely new spin on the overarching theme as they come and go. As we get deeper into the series, the sub-themes are easier to separate from the main theme, as we can pretty easily tell what has and has not been in the series since day one. But this is a lot harder to distinguish from the start, which can lead to some interesting effects, especially when the sub-theme and overarching theme are intrinsically intertwined. This idea can be applied to My Hero early on with the themes What Makes a Hero, the overarching theme, and Anyone Can Be a Hero, the sub-theme, as those two themes are deeply connected to one another and are present from chapter 1 of the series. They blend so well together that they're practically indistinguishable from the start. That might sound like a bit of a logical leap for some, so I want to explore why this sub-theme of Anyone Can Be a Hero is so intrinsically connected to the overarching theme of What Makes a Hero. Okay, so at the start of the story, Deku has all of the resolve and justice in his heart to become a legally recognized hero, but none of the actual ability to pursue that dream. Despite all of the opposition Deku faces in a hero-centric society, he still tries to save anyone he can, putting his own life on the line to do so. In the end, his childhood hero says that he too can become the hero he's always wanted to be. Despite Deku's single failing, he still gets set on the path to becoming a legally recognized hero at the end of the day, showing that anyone with a set of values like Deku can be hero material. You can kind of understand why many people would get the wrong idea here, even though, in retrospect, it fits perfectly within the overarching theme of what makes a hero. Deku, a quirkless failure as viewed by society, is still able to chase his dreams of becoming a hero simply on the merits of his sense of justice and will to act. Anyone can have a sense of justice. Anyone can have the strong will required to act in the face of opposition. Anyone can be a hero in this regard. This is a simple logical progression that allows for one theme to further the other, which is why I say they're intrinsically connected. Answering one theme has the strong potential to influence and enforce the other. Now, with that said, let's address the elephant in the room. Deku gets the chance to follow his dream after All Might gives Deku his powers. A lot of people look at this as the major reason the Anyone Can Be a Hero theme doesn't work within My Hero. Deku is only where he is now due to the powers he was bestowed. Not everyone can be a hero because not everyone can get All Might's magic hair powers. I get why this sentiment exists. The sub-theme kind of falls flat when the main character gains powers from Superman to further his goals. But with that said, I do think that there's an important distinction to make here that reinforces the sub-theme's place in the narrative while taking this point into account. I believe that, from the very start of the story, Deku was a hero. Just not a very good one. Hear me out. Deku, from the very start, embodies everything that makes a hero a hero. What makes a hero isn't a supercharged, overpowered ability that can protect others, but the selflessness to put your life on the line to do so, even when staring at utter defeat. That sense of self and justice forms a hero, even if Deku's not a legally recognized hero within the eyes of society. Just because Deku cannot become a legal hero because of his quirklessness does not mean that he wasn't a hero from the start. I think that people take the term hero far too literally in the narrative and fail to see the difference between a hero and a superhero. The series reinforces this difference between heroes and superheroes with the idea that the police are plenty heroic as is, but are actually an attainable dream for quirkless people. Heroism comes in many forms, while superheroism comes in only one. Okay, so that was a bit roundabout, but we're finally back to where this train of thought started. With the most solid argument against the sub-theme of Anyone Can Be a Hero discussed, I can finally return to the bait and switch element of the theme and sub-theme. Without the rest of the series acting as context, the theme initially seems to be the first sub-theme the series tackles. So, the sub-theme acts as a slight bait and switch that shifts the series from a relatively tired theme in superhero media to something with more potential nuance for a long-running series. Instead of taking the easy way out and simply sticking with the anyone can be a hero mantra, Horikoshi explains the idea briefly and then shifts into the intricacies of what makes a hero. What makes a hero's justice? Who would a hero save? Anyone in need? If a hero has to save anyone in need, what about the villains that have a troubled past? The overarching theme breeds a lot of questions, so the shift is for the best and works to hook more people into the narrative long term. The point is that the narrative begins with a specific, tired sub-theme that quickly shifts into a multitude of other more complex and interesting sub-themes to be tackled in each arc, while still exploring a great overarching theme at the same time. I really love that, because that bait and switch, that diversion of expectations or change in sub-themes, gives the story more gravity and nuance as it continues going forward. This is nothing new for long-running manga, I'm aware. Shonen do this all the time, but I think the first sub-theme chosen here fits a story about literal heroes so well, because it's a theme that many hero stories have explored before. To quote Stan Lee, "That person who helps others simply because it should or must be done, and because it is the right thing to do, is indeed, without a doubt, a real superhero." It's a beautiful sentiment, but it's so beautiful that it's been used a lot in the world of superhero media. It's lost its luster as a theme to explore because it has been explored extensively, so the quick shift from the sub-theme anyone can be a hero to a more interesting overarching theme works in a really interesting way. Sub-themes are super important to exploring stories in depth, and I love talking about them. I'm super excited to see where My Hero's sub-themes go, especially now, because Chapter 310 has set up some interesting foreshadowing that I really want the series to follow through with.
Uh-oh. Now you know how long it took for this stupid fucking video to come out. Whoopsies.
So, long story short, sub-themes are important. Very important, and I think discussing the effect they have on a narrative and how they play with the overarching theme should be done more often within the general community. A lot of depth is lost when we discuss only the surface level, and with so many different interpretations about sub-themes, there's a lot of content to dissect here. It's a goldmine, and I'm surprised that I haven't seen much content about it, but maybe I'm just looking in the wrong place. Either way, if you stuck through this video and liked it, consider subscribing. I appreciate your time, and I hope you have a lovely day.